What is up, Friday Night Futon? We're back with another video. We got some hoops.
Yeah.
Today's jersey I got on is Kyrie Irving, because he had the tough injury. He hit both his free throws, and then we later found out that he tore his ACL. Um, yeah, I thought we had a different topic coming in, but my fault to take over like that. But what do you think about the Kyrie Irving stuff?
Um, it's very sad. It's very sad. I know he's trying his hardest. It's been one of his greatest seasons. Him scoring, be able to score 30 points and do all the great things he's been doing. In that case, are the Mavericks cooked? I think they might be.
I think they're cooked.
I think they're cooked.
I don't think AD is gonna
I don't
really
think
try to make a
80 is gonna
return.
like, yeah,
Yeah. I think they're pretty much gonna ride it up with this season. Uh with Kyrie going out, I mean just if you're a basketball enthusiast, you just know how skilled he is and one of
it's great.
the honestly the skilledest guard in the league. Um but I think one of the first things that we saw with this Luka trade, I think all circles back is that this was going to be a heavy load on Kyrie Irving. Because we know AD has that injury trouble. You, I mean, he gets injured first game. I mean, that was just horrible luck right there. So
Yeah,
so the backpack just start begins immediately, and I think there's a lot on Kyrie. I think that with his rehab though, I think it's one of those players that um. I don't know. Like when Derrick Rose tore his ACLs, he talked about how his off leg got better with balance. And I think if there's a player that I trust to come back from a rehab, it's Kyrie Irving because I think
definitely.
it has some of the best balance and some of the best I know he takes care a lot about his body and stuff. So I think he is a player that can bounce back quite, even at an old age.
Definitely. I think he can definitely bounce back. It's just gonna take a long, long time.
Yeah. But last night hoops, I wasn't very interested in that many of the games, but the game that was a must watch, there was a one must watch that was Cade dropping 37 in a loss to James Harden's 50 ball. It was a very exciting game. I had this game circled on my night docket, and it's kind of the only one I started from start to finish because it was really competitive. I knew both these teams kind of needed the win. You had the
Yeah,
Pistons, who were really cooking on their win streak, uh, and then you have the Clippers, who were hot in the beginning, and then they kind of been up and down. They lost back-to-back games to the Lakers, so I wanted to see how they were going to respond, and they responded here. What are your thoughts on this game?
it was an amazing game. You're right. Both teams definitely needed to win. I was surprised. Bogdanovich,
Hmm.
he was able to score 23 points in 39 minutes. So I was
Yeah.
surprised on that because usually he's the guy to give you 8 points. Um, it was great defense from Crystal Dunn. Uh, Zubac gave you a double double, 22 and 11. And yeah, James Harden scored 23 points in the quarter.
Yeah, there's a game without Kawhi Leonard as well, so
Yeah.
that's why Bogdanovich that 23 really hits hard, because you don't have Kawhi Leonard out there. And like you said, the Chris Dunn, his added defense to the starting lineup gives you a very similar Keon Ellis and those that's kind of that archetype has kind of been a good staple in this new NBA kind of. I think we're
Definitely.
seeing a lot of guards that what these guys would be handling the ball a lot, but now they're kind of being like these off guards because they can defend the primary of attack, and then you have a James Harden or Luka Doncic be your true star with the Rock.
Yeah. That's why I like those type of players. I think this win really shows the world that the Clippers aren't out of it. When you think of the
Mm-mm.
Clippers, people think like, oh, they're like a mediocre team, like a seed 6, seed 7, seed 5, maybe. People don't look at the Clippers as lethal. So I think James Harden, if he starts the 50 point run like how he did in Houston, scoring 50 and 60 and stuff like that, and they transition to the playoffs, it could be a problem. They could definitely make it past the second round.
Yeah,
What you think about that?
when I know we were both really high on the Clippers when they didn't even have Kawhi Leonard, when it was kind of the Norman Powell show for a long time, and then you were really high on the Clippers before they even had Kawhi Leonard back with their playoff predictions. And I didn't really know about how that would look in, but we've seen some games from Kawhi Leonard. It seems that he's kind of getting back into the groove of things. Um, you get you get some just efficient performances, really, which is just that type of stuff will kind of make a team bleed in the playoffs if you just have these like 14 points, but it is very efficient. That type of stuff, you don't want to see that in the close quarter to games. And I think this team can make it really hard on some other West teams and can make it into some crunch time games. Um, my biggest thing with the Clippers though is that I don't know how much I trust Zubac in a playoff series. I think his drop coverage and stuff has been really, really good this year. But just I feel like a lot the times that they have been beaten, because there has been some bad Clipper losses in this season. They're not a perfect team by any means, but it has been when teams draw out Zubac, the Celtics can do it really, really nicely with Porzingis and stuff. And I just feel like Zubac is on an island sometimes, and it's not good looks.
Yeah, he definitely has those weird games where he'll give you 2 points and maybe like 7 rebounds. So, I think if they need to win these next 10 games, preferably like 8-2, um,
Mm.
because I did not want them to play the Thunder.
Yeah, because I mean, what I kind of want to refer here, I was that they played back-to-back games against the Lakers, and
Yeah,
then every single time that Luka had Zubac switched on to him, he did a step back three or ISO'd him on the wing for a three. And of course, yes, that is Luka, but that is also a player that you have potentially seeing in the playoffs. You're going to see
playoffs.
these
Yeah,
these these high ISO guys, and then. Uh, yeah, you're just gonna see these high ISO guys. You're lucky that you're not in the East where the Celtics just ISO hunt the entire game, trying to get their best matchup. Um, Going back in time a little bit, if that's all right with you. Before we ended the podcast, we were anticipating the Cavs and Celtics game, which ended up being
a
a
slaughter,
whirlwind of emotions.
a slaughter.
The um. It was just really weird. It was the Cavs were up big in the beginning, and then you get the Tatum get them out of here. They're up 25-3, and then the Celtics crawl their way back. A beautiful performance by Donovan Mitchell. He had 30 points in all four games against the Celtics. So if you're in the playoff series, you're gonna need a 30-point game, and that was the recipe clearly for if you're the Celtics. He has 41 in this one after they trailed 22. What were your thoughts on this one?
That was a nail biter because Jason Tatum, he was doing his thing.
That's why I thought it
Not
was
when I
sustainable.
mean doing his thing, I mean 46 points, almost a triple double, 40, almost a 46
Yep.
point triple double in 41 minutes. Um, and Jalen, and see the thing is about the Celtics is you usually have Jalen Brown. Oh no, no, sorry. You usually have Jason Tatum in the third quarter. He usually goes off. That's his quarter when he usually clicks it on. If it's not the first and second, the third quarter, he's definitely gonna click it on, right? To see him just really do it the whole game was amazing. And yeah, Jalen Brown scored 37 points. Like
Yep.
when you see those two recipes, you like, it's no way they lose.
Yeah. A no way that they lost was the other night where you had both Derek White and Peyton Pritchard both dropped 40. That was a blowout against. Oh, that was that the Hornets, I believe. I forget who they played there, but yeah. Back to this game. Um, I the big thing I touched on earlier is the ISO hunting, and that's kind of been the formula of the Celtics offense in general. And when you're a team like the Cavaliers that has a guy like Darius Garland leads the NBA in he gets averaged 35 times a game in ISO actions. So the whole entire NBA is hunting this guy. Ty Jerome played very good defense when he was subbed in for Garland, so you kind of have a little bit that kind of goes away somewhat. But Garland really needs to be big in the playoffs. I think he's kind of my biggest X factor for the Cavs in just for their playoff longevity, and especially against the Celtics because when he was able to kind of game manage, and it's hard to game manage against this Celtics team, but he has shown that he can do it at times. It is somewhat feeding Donovan Mitchell the ball when he gets hot, but you saw Donovan Mitchell kind of took a wild heater, a deep
Yeah.
three. Um, and then Garland kind of settled their offense back down, which I really liked. Evan Mobley was huge in this game as well. I'm glad to see that he's been blossoming and in these big games and has shown out a lot. I'll pull up his stat line in a second here, but what were some of the other games that Thursday? We had the Suns Pelicans. I watched that one. It was KD. KD. This has been
He was going crazy. I watched that game too.
but he been going crazy on his teammates as well.
Hmm.
That's what
We can talk about that for a little bit.
yeah. Well, I pull up that I wanted to see about
Yeah,
Evan
while you
Mobley's
pull
stat
up the other
line.
one, yeah, that was crazy. um, they ended up losing that game 124 to 116. That game when you thought a Kevin Durant or a Devin Booker should just go crazy. Um, I definitely think the Suns are falling off, and I'm not sure if they're playoff ready or playoff material, really.
Yeah.
And I definitely think Kevin Durant is not his. I think it might be his last year playing there,
I think yeah,
possibly.
no, I think it's 100% his last year playing there. Evan Mobley's stat line was 17 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block. So I shouldn't have spent that much time looking for it. But yeah,
No,
no,
well, yeah,
I think the end of the I think it's the end for the Suns. I think
yeah, definitely,
they're pretty much dead in the water here, and this was just the nail in the coffin against somewhat. It was an interesting game because a rivalry between two teams that aren't really fighting for anything this year, and Zion Williamson looked unguardable that game as he does in some other games when Zion Williamson gets it going. Um, but I just wanted to bring up the repeating pattern, not only in this Pelican game. This Pelican game, he got mad. I think twice. I think once at Mason Plumlee for setting a screen. I forget what the other one was.
yeah,
Because he just wanted space. And then he had a little altercation with Mike Budenholzer on the sideline just the other night. And I think it's just the kind of it is the end for Kevin
yeah,
Durant and as a Sun. I don't really know what that entails for Booker. I don't really think you need to completely restart because I think you do have something maybe to work with, but Bradley Beal also I feel like would have to go. I think I know he has the no trade clause type stuff. Um so it's hard to move him, but I think once KD's gone, then maybe that helps him get him out the door.
yeah. Um, so looking at that last Thursday, Stephen Curry,
Yeah.
man, I know he still had it in. He had a whopping 56-point show against a Magic team who has one of the best defense in the world. Um,
Yeah, they're slipping heavily though in the
yeah,
standings. But yeah, they have shown that they're playing very good defense.
that game was amazing to see Stephen Curry. I think he went either I want to say 8 for 13 from three, or I think he might have had 9 threes or something like that. Probably more than that, but it was a great game. Looking at that Nuggets Bucks game we talked about last time,
With Jimmy Butler injured, he was
yeah,
not playing that game.
yeah. So the thing about Jimmy Butler is it's confusing with his roles because like
Yeah.
most of the games, Stephen Curry will do all of the points, and he's just there like being a defender, which is fine if that's his role, you know. But it's kind of unclear what his role really is on the team.
Well, I think that
Like sometimes he
56
can score.
point game
Yeah,
really showed that he does need Jimmy Butler out there on the court, at least for somewhat. I think Jimmy Butler has been a really good cutting option, and you can do
yeah,
similar actions that you were previously doing with Draymond. And we all know that when Draymond's coming off, Draymond can get that like kind of fake when he sets the screen and then he gets the ball and then he just walks in for a layup because no one's expecting him to be aggressive with the basketball. You have more of like with the when Jimmy Butler sets the screen there, like the defender kind of stays there more of Jimmy Butler than they would Draymond Green because Jimmy Butler is a more
Yeah,
offensive threat, and he can get it on that, and Steph Curry's been able to dime it up to Jimmy Butler on the cut, and who's an amazing cutter. And then he can also do a fade option more than Green can. So I think that's kind of just it alleviates Steph Curry more than him truly being effective on like the points and stuff. But it's kind of just having like two Draymonds out there, which is kind of interesting, I think.
yeah. It's definitely
But
interesting.
yeah, I think they horn. I mean that 50 ball. I think he doesn't do that if Jimmy Butler's on the court.
Yeah,
Um, Another game on that docket, um we had the Grizzlies close game at the beginning against the this is Mitchell Robinson's first game back with the Knicks, and they played the Grizzlies, and they were 56 at 59 at halftime. It ends in a close game in 12 minutes. Mitchell Robinson doesn't have that crazy of a game, which he has a minutes restriction, which I didn't think Tom Thibodeau would honestly do because you know how Tom Thibodeau is with
yeah,
his minutes. But he plays 12 minutes for 6 points and 5 rebounds. The Grizzlies shot horrible this game,
yeah,
which let the Knicks come back. They had the lead and they were still shooting better, which would let the Knicks come back. And I knew they were going to end up getting momentum at one point. Brunson hits a big three, followed by a big OG three, who couldn't get one to fall for the entire game, then hits a big one in the corner. Um, Another thing that a big storyline that I've been kept following is that combined, Miles Bridges and OG shot 4 for 15 from three. Miles Bridges contributed zero to that total. So, that I think that's really what's been holding back this Knicks team.
yeah.
Is that
Definitely
guard
watching
play
that. Yeah,
and in that,
definitely watching them is shooting. I
yeah,
think their downfall is shooting for sure. The amount of threes they miss when they can just eat. I know they're wide open. I understand it. Take the mid range. I know you want to shoot the threes, but they're not falling. I know they tell you to take it, but I feel like that's their downfall. Only thing that's I found out that is quote unquote bad about them is the missed threes.
yeah. I don't know if it's the injuries that kind of have been piling up on OG. He's had a lot of leg injuries. But
Yeah,
when he was on the Raptors, he would attack the paint a lot more than I've seen with this next team. I think he's settling a lot more with these threes. And I felt like the perfect thing for Mikal Bridges was that he had that little stint with like Brooklyn, so he could add onto his offensive bag. I feel like I don't really see that his mid-range game get used all that often anymore.
yeah.
But yeah, they ended up winning that game. The Grizzlies have a tough one. They lose 3 games in a row off buzzer beaters, and then they have the Jaren Jackson Jr. go down with an injury the other night. Um, I've been skeptical just on like them in the playoffs because I feel like we haven't seen true John Morant, and I don't want to have to wait for playoffs to start just to like see him. I kind of want to
Yeah.
see John Morant step into full gear, but then they have this horrible week. Where do you think this puts the Grizzlies in just the grand scheme of things?
They're definitely still making the playoffs, obviously. But in terms of like staying, depends on who they play.
Yeah, they at the fourth seed. They're definitely
Yeah,
100% staying in, but
yeah. So if they if they play in the playoffs and Desmond Bain and John Morant are able to combine for at least 50, and hopefully Triple J is back and healthy, he can give you another 20 points. And then you
yeah,
got your guys like Zach Edey who drop a double double. I think that's the main thing that's like slowing him down. That's all. Like as long as John Morant leads it and the rest of the teammates follow up, I think that's perfect. What do you think about that?
yeah. I think the Grizzlies can. I don't know. I still think that they're missing their star power with John Morant. So but they do have the defense to hold them down to where I think they can make it real muddy for a team. But I feel like uh I don't know, just their matchup right now would be the Warriors, and I think I would have to take the Warriors in that too. Oh no, would it be? Matt, maybe the Warriors or Minnesota. They have very similar records. And like I don't know. The Memphis Grizzlies, I don't know. They're just they haven't really shown me that like they're that competitive,
Yeah,
um, like
that's the
top
thing about the regular season. You never really
echelon
know.
team. Yeah, like they had some really bad losses, and that like I feel like they're still experimenting. Like you said, Zach Edey, I feel like still gets a lot of minutes. I mean, for a rookie and stuff, and they're still implementing things into their team where a lot of these other contending teams that they would be playing have it all figured out. I think they just have had a really good season, but they're kind of like the Knicks in the East, the Knicks in the West for
Yeah,
me. I don't know. Like they're a very good solid team and they're better than the average like Pacers and stuff like that, but I
yeah.
don't know how far I'd take them in a playoff series.
That's the thing about the regular season. You never really know.
Yeah.
Like the regular season, teams can just get by off playing.
Oh, we did have, speaking of just teams falling out of the playoffs and stuff, we had since the last podcast, we had our first official um
Change.
making like puts in the standings. We have the
Hmm.
Cleveland Cavaliers are 100%. They have the X next to their name. They're 100% making the playoffs. The mathematically, and the Boston Celtics are 100% making the play-in as so far, and they've 100% made the postseason, and the OKC has 100% made the postseason as well. We'll see later ones come in later. Uh, but another big game. We're going on to OKC because they just clinched the postseason. Jalen Williams has his career high 41 against the Spurs. Of course, without Wemby for this year, but still, just amazing 41. That
Yeah, that
little
was
bit of
amazing. I watched that game and I was like, wow. Because
at the
I know he's
yeah,
able to give you at least 20 points. But that game without Wimby, you had a Chris Paul
you had
there,
the
but
scuffle a little bit at the
yeah,
beginning of the game.
yeah. But I feel like without the primary defenders, he was able to do it.
Yeah, I think it was still impressive because I think at a certain point, they did start shifting their entire defense over to Jalen Williams and not Shea Gilgeous-Alexander anymore because they thought that he kind of wasn't a threat, which is probably the most non-threat I've seen Alexander was just kind of just feed his teammate and letting him go. Really good game from Williams. I know he even said that the little scuffle at the game kind of fueled him to keep it going in that game because a team like that you know like your number one team is the Spurs. I mean your number one team is the OKC. Like you're walking into a Spurs arena that you know doesn't have Wemby, and you still come out there and you show you're like a master class, which is like what I expect from a top team. Which is really nice that they're not even letting the little ones fly by them. Um,
Yeah, looking at this playoff, like playing for 2025. Um,
Yeah, right now it would be the Mavericks versus the Kings,
yep.
Clippers versus the Wolves, and then on the East, uh Bulls versus the Hawks and Orlando versus Miami.
Hmm, that'll be crazy. That'll be crazy. Look,
I think the West is honestly I think it's just ordering it now.
yeah,
I don't see the of course the Jazz season's over, the Pelicans. I had I can't believe my take of this year was the Spurs were going to be the nastiest team in the play-in, but that was
yeah, Wemby.
because they had Wemby. But Portland not gonna make it, and then the 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 S- the Suns are the only team that's sitting on the bubble. But we both agree that they're not gonna. They might be able to catch an
Yeah,
injured Dallas. Dallas is right now the 10th seed and I could see that team falling out, but. I mean, the Kings have even been playing better basketball. Zach LaVine kind of found his
yeah,
shot again, and I don't see them dropping out of the play-in.
yeah. I think the I'm looking at this right now. Just looking at the fourth and the fifth seed, the Bucks versus the Pacers. That's gonna be very interesting. I think the Pacers can pull it out. I think they're gonna like it's gonna have to be like last year. Tyrese
Yeah.
Halliburton, everybody got to do their thing. Um, Another shocker that could happen. The Pistons can make it past the first round.
Hmm. I can
Yeah,
see that. The Pistons have been playing really, really good basketball. But yeah, the Pacers been able to win some really good games. They beat the Rockets the other day on Tuesday. Oh, that was a good game right there. Uh, because I believe they they had because they've been playing with Jabari Smith back in the lineup, which is kind of the Sun. I mean, the Rockets kind of been implementing him back into just the swing of things because the Rockets were at peak without him, so it's kind of interesting to see him back just playing 37 minutes a game. Tari Eason's been really really good. He had a double double
yeah.
against the Pacers. And they also have Sengun, and their offense slows down a lot when they add Sengun. So the Pacers really took advantage of that. Tyrese Halliburton seems to be back, 28 and 15 assists. So he seems to kind of he's been up and down, up and down. I think we're not really, but I think he was decently okay in the playoffs last year, and I expect him to if it's a team like the Bucks and he can game manage them and like strategize them for a whole series. Yeah, it's a point guard that I would want to see have me running up and down the court, especially when Brook Lopez is getting older and it
Mhm.
seems that he's kind of been their fit right now and he's been playing really good. It's that's not a good fit for the Bucks.
Yeah, I could definitely see the Pacers going making it past the first round.
Yeah.
And looking at
I think
uh
the team that we haven't talked about, which we talked about them a little bit, they played the back-to-back Clippers, but I think it's time that we talk about the Lakers. The Lakers have been insane, like rising up
so
to the two seed.
yeah,
Their defense is the best it's been all entire year, and that's removing Anthony Davis from your team and adding Luka Doncic, and your team and your defense got better. We've seen some games where when Luka had 30, LeBron James looked like Draymond Green on steroids, like just
yeah.
locking up, like showing that I don't know, like just he had been playing really, really, really good.
Yeah.
They were able to get their offensive bag off the other night. They both had 30, but what you got to say about this Lakers team?
This Lakers team, I'm glad JJ Redick finally figured it out. I'm happy for him. They were at the bottom. Remember we were talking about how they were just at the bottom at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, they were at the bottom at the beginning of the season, and then I was kind of surprised that they were kind of silently there at the fifth seed, and they were the only team to not drop. And then with
Yeah,
this Luka trade, I was not expecting them to just shoot up immediately. But yeah,
yeah.
Jackson
So,
Hayes, I know you were talking a lot about him. He had 19 and 10. He had his double double, and he shot 8 for 8. You know
mm.
that's all lobs and dunks.
That's literally all lobs and dunks. They just passing it to him. He just jumping 2 feet.
Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow. The Lakers at the 2 seed. I never thought I would see this coming, honestly.
We saw the Rockets there. I didn't think I was going to see that coming. They dropped they kind of they switched spots. From the two to the five. The
Yeah.
Rockets and Lakers
What
slip spots.
whoever plays the Lakers, man, I hope they come with it. It's gonna be every game is gonna be hard.
Right now it would be the winner of Minnesota versus
Clippers.
Clippers. Oh yeah, I
That'd be
believe.
crazy.
Yes, yes,
Cause I
yes.
feel like the Timberwolves versus the Lakers in the 7 game series, I might go down to game 7 or game 6.
Yeah, yeah, because the Timberwolves have been looking honestly really nice without Gobert and Randall. Dante DiVincenzo kind of found his footing. He was kind of bad right when he got traded there, but he's been better. And I'm finally glad they're playing their rookies. I thought they had two of the best sneaky picks. They had Terrence Shannon Jr. and they had Rob Dillingham. And the only way you're going to see if those guys can produce is if you give them burn.
Yeah, give
And
them time.
yeah.
Finally, instead of give them time to see what they do.
I've been seeing Luke. I saw Luca Garza out there more than them, and I was like, "Come on!"
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, the Lakers' ascent to their dominant defense has been insane. Like I said, Luca with 38 and 15 assists, LeBron with 34, 8 and 6 against um Pelicans. Um, Don't Connect hasn't really found his like he had fit 13 in this game, contributed on the scoreboard, of course, but I've kind of been waiting for him to get back into to the groove of hit things for himself. Um, there's also a game without Austin Reeves. They beat the hell out the Pelicans without Austin Reeves, which has also been impressive because we were talking about last pod that he might be one of the best third options.
Yeah.
Um, but with that being said, we're gonna hit break soon. So thank you very much for watching the
Thank
first
you.
half of this video, and then we'll come back and give you some more.
All right. Peace.
What is up? Back. We are back from break.
All right.
Thank y'all uh for liking and subscribing.
Yeah. Thank you for
We are
tuning in. Appreciate it.
we're we are back talking about the games of that are coming up. Um So first game that we got to this week, I mean this week. First game that we got tonight is the Bulls Magic. Both teams who are the Magic we talked about been really grueling but have a good defense, and the Bulls if we get a Josh Giddey game, I could see them walking away with this
Yeah.
as a W.
I think this is potentially the best game of the night. Um,
Oh, this game right here?
this game right here could definitely be the best game of the night for sure. Josh Giddey has been on a double double triple double rampage. And we know Pablo can give you 40 points. So just knowing those two factors alone make a great game. I I don't see any other game being that great, to be honest. The Warriors versus the Nets, unless Curry drops 60 again. Okay, exciting. He's Stephen Curry. We know we know he can do this. Pacers versus Hawks, maybe. And then the Celtics versus the Sixers, I don't see that being that interesting.
Yeah, 76ers versus Celtics is the next game of the night, and I would argue that's the worst game of the night. I
Yeah,
think it's a mistake that they have it on TNT on HBO Max, because I think this is just going to be a Celtics beatdown. I mean, we've seen that
yeah.
the 76ers have kind of thrown in the towel this
Fell
year.
back. Yep.
They really need to take them off of national television. I'd much rather have the Pacers Hawks game on national television.
Yeah.
My game of the
The second,
night.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, my game of the night, I think is going to be the most competitive. Is you picked the first game of the night. I picked the last game of the night. I think they did correct on this one with the Mavericks and Lakers being on TNT. Hate that I have to start it at 10, but with the how the Lakers have been rolling, I think this can be a really fun game for them because Karl Anthony Towns isn't a big that's gonna he's gonna make Jackson Hayes work a little bit different than
Yeah,
some other bigs would in the league. So I kind of want to see what their defense does. But it's also a team that I can think that they can just walk over. So that's why I kind of would stay away from this one. But I think the Knicks are kind of like I feel like the Knicks always have these injuries. We have a thumb with OG Anunoby, and an ankle still for Mitchell Robinson. I hope both of them play. So there's a lot of ticky-tack injuries with these teams. But no Rory Hachimura. He got injured with his knee
yeah.
injury. But he's been
It
good.
was
So
also a great aspect for the Lakers. He's a great person
yeah.
for the Lakers.
Uh yeah, I'd have that game as my game of the night. I think the Rockets, we didn't touch on that one, but I think the Rockets are gonna beat the goofy out of the Pelicans. And if they don't, that
Yeah,
would be
me
a
too. I
big
think so
talking
too.
point.
I think so too.
Yep.
I hope they do.
But yeah. Who you have in Pacers versus Hawks? I feel like that one doesn't have
I
a
feel
for
like the
sure
Pacers can pull it. I feel like the Pacers can pull it off, but they're
Okay.
gonna have to really bring it though.
Yeah.
I know Miles Turner he's been scoring about 16 points a game roughly. Um, who else?
This should be a good game. Clint Capella has been bad as of
Yeah,
recently.
So I'm thinking this should be good for that. Should we talk about game rest of the week?
Yeah, let's play this. Let me hear your game of the week.
Game for the rest of the week. A must win for my Clippers. The Clippers
Oh,
versus the Knicks tomorrow night.
oh, that's your game. Okay.
Why? Because James Harden coming off a 50-point game. This to show everybody, even 2K, that James Harden is back.
Mm.
Um,
He had an upgrade
James
today,
Harden,
back to
yeah,
an 88 overall.
yeah. James Harden was originally when 2K came out, I think he was like 90. I want to say a 90 or 91
Yeah.
maybe, and dropped down to 87. So they really don't believe in that.
He had another 86.
86, yeah, even worse.
Yeah, he just got back up to an
Man,
88 though. Shout out.
if James Harden can score 30 points tomorrow night, I will cash app somebody that watched this video $15. No cap. Lock it in. Get you something to eat. Get you a little Chick-fil-A dinner. Let us know. If he does score 30 points, this guy right here got you.
That won't
And
be
we'll
hard to
announce,
do.
we'll
We
announce,
don't have that many people in the comments. I bet you if you are in the comments, you'd be the winner.
yeah. We're gonna go through the comments. We're gonna do a little chat GPT, select a random person, and boom, that's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna announce it in the next video. So
Ooh.
be on the lookout for that.
Yep. Uh, my game of the week is the other opponent. I mean, you picked the Knicks against the Clippers. I'm guessing you have the Clippers winning that. Yes, of course.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I'll take the Lakers against the Celtics on Saturday. That one I think is a really really big one. It'll really push the test to see uh how much of a contending team this Lakers team truly is. And if they get the full true Celtics with Porzingis, because I think that's really what the Celtics are really gonna almost need to really blow a team out of the park, like the Lakers that are kind of trying to squeeze by, um, with like just the surrounding pieces. When you have your full like team, like as the Celtics can make, that's how you really beat a team that is really relying on LeBron and Luca. Um, what my other game of the week that I was also trying to debate through was the Cavaliers Bucks, also for same reasons. Kind of want to see the top. I love seeing the top two seeds go at it. I mean, this is the top two and three seed going at it, so this could be very big for the wet for the matchup. I mean matchups in the East. I think the Bucks are probably playing some of the best basketball they have been in the entire year, even though they are missing Bobby Portis. That's
Yeah.
my mistake. The currently the Knicks are the third seed, but you know what I mean. Um, this could be the one and the four seed playing. I think the Bucks have been really, really good. Damian Lillard's kind of back to not just giving us one performance a week, but two performances a week out of the three, which is better. But I hope he has a good game against the Cavaliers. That'll make that one interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, um, who you having my matchups winning either of those games?
Mm,
'Cause I would agree. I would
I
have the
think
Clippers beating the Knicks.
yeah, Clippers beating the Knicks. Um,
Lakers Celtics on Saturday.
I think the Lakers can beat the Celtics
Okay.
if
Okay.
Luca and LeBron combine for either 40 or 50. And Austin Reeves has scored like 20
Oh,
points.
they combined for 60 the other night. I think they can do it
Yeah, they need
easy.
to like keep that up. And what was the last game? The Bucks, right?
Bucks versus Cavs.
Mm,
One seed versus the four seed. So right now in
I
the
got the
East.
Cavs. Come on, now I'm gonna miss you all the way. I'm sold. I'm sold on the first seed now. I'm sold on. I've seen too much.
You think they're going
I'm
finals
sold.
bound? You have them locked
Yes.
finals bound?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
I mean
definitely.
conference finals. My fault. Conference
Yeah,
finals.
conference finals,
They're locked conference
man.
finals.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. It's the NBA, man.
I
The
think the
role
Bucks.
player like Quentin Grimes can give you 40 points.
Oh, he can. That was a bad loss for the Warriors. Man, that was brutal for them. Wasn't that the
Yeah, that
Warriors,
was.
right? They lost. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
Warriors because I saw Flight reacting to it, and oh, he was mad.
yeah. It's funny.
But shout out to Quentin Grimes. He got a big upgrade in 2K because of that. He like an 83 overall now or 82.
It's crazy.
Ty
And this
Jerome at
jump shot is
83.
still like you gotta hold it.
You hold it for years. Um, some sleeper games I wanted to mention just before we get out of here. I thought the Pistons versus Warriors, that'll be a more exciting game for the Warriors to have against a
Yeah.
gritty young team, and then you're kind of a gritty old team trying to make it into the playoffs, and that one could be interesting. Um,
And the
but
Bulls versus Heat could be interesting
Praying we
too.
don't see any more career-ending injuries. We've been having a lot. We didn't touch on it. We touched on the Kyrie Irving's news, but Jalen Suggs also out for the entire season and playoffs for the Magic. So even if they were to make it out of the play-in, they would not have Jalen Suggs. And we both talked about how uh, much that team gets elevated when they do add a true guard. I think Cole Anthony gives you a lot of scoring, and Anthony Black gives you a lot of playmaking, and combine that in Jalen Suggs with the defense as well, better than both those players I just mentioned. This I think that's what kind of puts the Magic dead in the water. I really hope that they can bounce back because they do have Paulo and Franz, but that I think that's a big blow for right there for the Magic.
Yeah, definitely.
But thank y'all for watching this video. We'll see y'all back for next week for another Friday Night Futon. Make sure to go to subscribe to Jibbles the
It
Clown
was the
Gaming as
clown.
well. There's been a lot more Twitch streams recently. I had some corrupt footage again, so I wasn't able to make the YouTube videos out of it, but there it is up on the Twitch. But we were playing with the new R6 operator, just stuff like that. Um, Getting ready for MLB The Show as well. We'll be streaming that soon when that game comes out. Go check out Josh, you make your channel yet?
I did make my channel, but I do have to post a video before this week coming up. My Josh channel, JXSH. Basically gonna be reaction videos to whatever is gonna be. We're gonna talk about some cop cop videos. We're gonna have some real interesting talks over there. I think that channel is gonna be real fun to look out to. So
Yep,
that will
yep,
be also down there in the description.
yep.
And I'll have a video before, hopefully before Monday. So look out for that reaction channel. Um, really just showing like different really random things like lifestyle videos. Like from the one of the videos I want to do is a $25,000 year salary lifestyle versus $25 million lifestyle. It's a little animated video and different videos sort of like that. And little
Yeah.
maybe interactive games. So check that channel out.
Yeah, definitely go check that out. Make sure to like and subscribe also to this channel. Shout out to you. Deuces.
Deuces.